Welcome everyone to our weekly Facebook live show, Life Buildup, where we talk about your success, fulfillment, and balance. I'm your host Zawad, here with Hasan. Thank you everyone for joining us as people are rolling in. This week we're talking about, what is the difference between giving criticism and feedback? A lot of the times we confuse the two, and we end up, just with arguing and going back and forth, and ruining relationships. And we forget the first reason, that we actually wanted to give the feedback. So we have a very exciting episode for you. I'm just going to share the show a little bit.
Hey, what's up, guys? So glad to be with you all, and I'm so glad that you can join us. It's just fabulous. Every Monday night, 10 p.m. We just love to be able to share in our time together. Today we are talking about criticism versus feedback. Now, these are big terms like feedback, criticism. It sounds like, stuff you would want to do at work or something, right? But to be honest, we are constantly giving feedback. We're constantly, giving criticism. Whether it be a friend that, we tell them something that we don't like, or the fact that they didn't show up on time yesterday, or to your sibling who you share the bedroom with that leaves some mess in the floor, or to your loved ones. It could be spouse, it could be your parent. You don't something you don't like what they did in the other day. You are constantly giving people feedback, right? And we're constantly giving people criticism sometimes. So what's the difference between feedback and criticism? Because feedback works, criticism sucks, right? So what is the difference? Because there's something crucial. You are constantly giving people input about the things.
Like every single person that we're dealing with in our daily lives, we're doing this.
We're giving input,
right?
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to tell you that a friend of mine, he has he has his schedule done pretty nicely.
Right.
He's a very productive person. He's a college student. On top of that, he works. He's involved with his campus life and so forth. And he has a lot of friends, who are not as productive. Who just waste their time away.
Right.
And some of them are not even going to college. So. And he wants to help them.
Right.
But every time I tell him this, why don't you talk to them?
Right.
You're living by example.
Right.
You have a good thing going on.
Right.
And he tells me that I just don't want to ruin the relationship.
And that's a good one. Actually, now that I mention it, because this topic tonight right here is for you if you are too afraid to correct someone in your life, too afraid to make someone change. Look, if your relationship is so shallow that you can only talk about good stuff, right? That you can only praise each other.
Right.
That you can only say, wow, amazing, wow, beautiful.
When it comes to tough stuff,
and tough stuff, you can't talk about it. Tough stuff, you're like, oh, things get heated. Then something is wrong. Because in a relationship, you should be able to talk about the hard stuff and talk about the good stuff,
Right, absolutely.
So today we're talking about in the hard stuff, right? So people in your life that, whether it be in a professional life, your personal life, at work, at home, we're constantly giving people input on things that affect us even sometimes, right? So how do you have that hard talk with someone, especially something that they're doing wrong, right? And how do you make sure that they don't get offended, or you don't ruin the relationship, or that they take it too personally, or you get into argument and fight, so what do you do?
Yeah, man. I mean, this is such a big topic. Even when it comes to celebrities and YouTube is like a big place now.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, what happens is that one YouTuber would call out another YouTuber.
Oh yeah.
Usually what they would call out is that they want them to change something about something they did.
Right.
And what would end up happening is that
fight.
It's just a fight, Twitter battle. Video after video.
No, some people like it. They want that. They want that drama.
It's part of the gossip.
Right. Yeah.
But there's so much wrong with the way they go about correcting the other person.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the mistakes that they do, we even do it within our own private lives.
Yeah.
So such an important topic, man.
So let's get right into it. What exactly is the difference between feedback and criticism? If these two words sound like some kind of dictionary word to you, well, let me break it down to you, right? So what is feedback and what is criticism? So the difference between feedback and criticism, number one, is a criticism is when you enforce your personal opinion about something, right? You have some likes, dislikes, you have some taste, some and you enforce that on people as if that's something they need to do, right? So you're telling them, no, this is,
so your personal opinion,
yeah,
you basically say that, this is the right one.
Right. So, toilet seat up, toilet seat down, right? I could be, that could sound
Apple versus Android.
Well, yeah, I mean, so usually though, in argument-wise, people would be more like, you don't like, when you're writing an essay, you want, you like to format it this way, or you give someone feedback about something, because if there's two ways of doing it, you cannot criticize someone about it. That's the point. So if there's two ways of doing something, and both ways are legitimate. Now, in your mind, one of the ways is inferior. One of the ways is not.
Yeah. What happens if you say that? Okay, fine. There's two ways of doing it.
Yeah.
But my way of doing it is the correct way, or the better way to do it.
Better way. Well, so my point is, if it is something that's arguable, if there's a lot of evidence, behind the other opinion, right? Then you cannot make that into something you're giving people feedback about. Then you're criticizing, right? Because it's your.
Because at the end of the day, guys, as long as the job gets done,
right? That's the point.
It's fine. It's okay if your friend likes to write their essay a different way, or they prefer I don't know what example.
For example, even within our friend circle, right? So some people like things very pre-planned, like whether it be a trip. Right? They like to plan out the whole day of the trip.
Yeah, you're going to a trip next week, right?
Yeah, we're going to a trip next week in Maryland.
One of our friends, he's like on pinpoint.
So
he's got to be on time.
So he likes to plan out the vacation, right? So 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and some people don't. Some people want to relax. So now
it's like stress in their head.
Now, which is the better idea? Well, you can argue both points. And at that point, you cannot criticize people, because that's a personal preference.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he might be right if we decide to leave from New York, for example, at a certain time, and people will start show up half an hour late, 2 hours late. Then, in that case, definitely that's not right. But in the vacation itself, if you have plans, you don't have plans, how concrete is your plan? That's a personal preference, right? And so if you criticize something about that, that's not feedback. That's criticism.
And I think that's very important to realize that. Just having an insight onto this. And being aware of it is going to help the relationship.
What's the whole point of this theme that we're covering, feedback versus criticism, is to make you someone that can better connect with people, right? Your friends, family, you being able to better have a better relationship and not be afraid of correcting, right? So we want you to correct people, right? And with kindness, with love, with getting the result that you're looking for. Why did you want to correct this person?
Because you want them to change something about themselves. Because you want what's best for them.
And that that goes on to our point number 2, right? So what is a criticism versus feedback? So point number 2 is that if you use the criticism to humiliate someone. So you don't want anything corrected. You just want to say it so that people can laugh at them, or you're going to say it to put them down.
So usually, maybe when somebody corrects you in public.
Oh yeah.
That's
so that's actually number 3, but that's connected. 2 and 3 is connected. So if you're criticizing publicly, and it's not needed. It has nothing to do with why get other people involved, right? Because you want more support. You want, okay, in that case, then something is wrong with the way you're presenting.
Or maybe what if the person says that, I'm doing it so that it's gonna have a bigger effect. Let's say if I was to correct my friend when other friends are there,
it's more likely that they will follow.
More likely that they'll follow.
Or more likely they will be pissed off. That's what's gonna be. You'll be surprised. You might. That's one way of going about it, right? That shows your weakness, actually, to be honest. That you feel so emotionally weak that you have to garner other people's, strength for you to correct someone.
Or if the other person says that, I want to say it, publicly, so that others can even learn from it.
Yeah, but you need to scapegoat someone to make other people learn.
Okay.
So because no one likes it. Look, you don't like it. I don't like it. No one likes it when people put you on the spot in public. And look, and you think, even if you somebody give an example. Imagine that you have a silver jewelry on your hand, right? And I start to criticize your silver jewelry. I say it's just silver, man. It's garbage. It's not like diamond jewelry. And if I start to attack it, you're gonna say, no, it's mine. You have to defend it. Versus if I just hold up to you a diamond, jewelry, You're gonna slowly put your hand back and let go of the silver and hold the diamond.
Uh-huh.
That's the whole point. If you attack someone, they're gonna hold on to that crap, even if it's crap. Like what they're doing is complete garbage, complete crap. But you attacking it, they're gonna say, you know what? Screw you. I'm gonna keep on doing it, just so that they can save their dignity. So you attack someone, you humiliate someone, or you do it publicly. Worse even. Number 2 and 3, guaranteed you're not gonna get the result.
Right. Yeah.
You're not gonna get the result.
Yeah. And what else falls under in criticizing somebody?
So what is criticism and what is feedback, right? So another thing that makes things something that's criticism is criticizing after the fact, right? So it's already done. It already happened, right? And now you could say, no, I'm just letting them know so that they can fix it. One thing is to mention the lesson about it. Another thing is to keep on badgering them. Yeah, keep on bringing it up every 5 days. Oh, I remember. Did you remember the last time we did that? Now you could say it to warn them about something else they're doing. That's one idea. But if it's something you just bring it up just to be
rub it in
over and over again, then that's criticism. That's not feedback. You're not helping. So what's the goal? Do you want to hurt them, or do you want to help them change? What is it you want? Look, you want to hurt them. You want to be that horrible human being that hurts other human beings? Go ahead, no problem. We can't do anything about it. You want to do it? Do it. But look, if you want to change someone, though, you don't do it through hurting.
Right.
It has to be done through wisdom.
And I think a lot of the times we also, I think people also, character assassinate.
Yes, yes, and that's number 5. Yeah. So that's criticism. So instead of criticizing what the person did, you criticize the person. So you are always lazy. You could say, look, you didn't when I told you to vacuum the house, you didn't vacuum the house. Instead you say you're lazy. So do you think if you're calling someone lazy, does that help them fix themselves?
Right.
Honestly, think about it. What is it that you wanted? You wanted them to vacuum the house, right? You calling them lazy is not.
It's not gonna let them make them vacuum the house.
It's not like, oh, call me lazy. Yes, that's so motivating. That's so inspiring. Yes, I'm gonna go vacuum now. No one does that. I mean, instead they get defended. They get angry. What do you mean I'm lazy? I'm not lazy. And then they start and there's anger in the house. It just doesn't help. Right. Calling someone lazy or calling someone, you're very careless. Like you have a coworker at work and you take the work and go, look, take a look, what is this? You're very careless. How do I fix that? I'm a careless human being.
Right.
Instead say, look, I want you to look over the project twice from now on because you make spelling mistakes. Right. Or a simple thing, make sure you look at it twice before you send which email you send it to. You send to the wrong vendor. Instead you go there and attack them. You're careless. How am I supposed to fix that? Okay, so how do I fix carelessness?
So don't attack the person's don't attack
the personhood. Don't criticize the person. That's criticism.
But what would you say if somebody does a behavior over and over and over again? Like let's say you tell the person, okay, vacuum the floor, right, and he doesn't do it, right? You tell him again, vacuum the floor,
or something else even,
or even something else, right?
Can you help with the dishes? The dishes is still in the sink, right? Yeah.
Okay. And he keeps on repeating the behavior,
right?
And then you say that you're a lazy person.
So that's still character assassination, because you're gonna say in that case you're gonna say, I told you about vacuuming 3 times and told you about the dishes twice. So it's been 5 times that you didn't do it.
Oh, so you basically say,
point out the pattern.
Right.
You still don't have to call them lazy, because look, if you call them, the whole point is you call them lazy, you label them lazy. Do you think you're helping them? Are you helping them?
No, you're not.
You're not helping them.
Because remember, the goal is to get the result.
Yeah.
The goal is to get the person to change and make a better decision.
Look, if your goal is not the result, then you wanna piss them off. You want to break a relationship. You wanna leave people hurt.
Okay, can you expand a little bit more on that? What do you mean by the goal is the result?
So what it means is, okay, so why is it that you're getting bothered? Whether it be a coworker, a family member, whether it be a friend, something they're doing that you're not liking. That's what it is, right? Sometimes what they're doing may be even affecting you. So what is it that you want? Because what they're doing you're not liking, you want them to change, right? And that's the whole goal. You want them to change.
Yeah.
So if you want someone to change, that should be your prime mission. Not you being right, not pointing it out so that they can get hurt, not as a payback. You want them to change. So if you want someone to change,
remember your goal. That's the point.
Make that your goal.
And I think this falls under giving correct feedback.
Here we go.
Right?
Correct feedback. corrective feedback. So how do you give the feedback instead?
Just guys, before we continue, I see you guys are joined with us. Shorav, Shabnam, Silbert, Saiful, Fahim. Thank you for joining us, guys. Really, really appreciate it.
We're so happy that you can join us.
Yeah.
Monday nights, 10 p.m. It's just fabulous.
Yeah. All right, guys. By the way, if you have any comments or thoughts you want to share with us, feel free to put in the comments. I'll be looking at the screen right here, and I'll be relaying them to Hasan. Love to talk to you guys.
Guys, feel free to give your feedback, or maybe you have tried giving feedback to someone in your life. Maybe today even you try to tell someone about something and they got pissed or they got angry, or
there's someone that you want to give feedback to but you don't know how to do it.
And you're avoiding talking with them, right?
Yeah.
So you definitely want to So
so let's jump into it. So what is the right way to give feedback?
All right. So I would like to say there's 3 steps to give a feedback now. So you know those 5 things that are bad.
Do you want to summarize those 5 things real quick?
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So number 1 was that you personally you prefer something over something else.
Right.
So you give the example of writing essay in one format versus another.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
or toilet seat up, toilet seat down.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Apple versus Android.
Right.
It doesn't really matter. As long as the job gets done,
having vacation planned or vacation not fully planned. Yeah.
Right. As long as the job gets done is fine. Your preference over another person is not giving, feedback.
Right.
You're just criticizing the other person.
Right.
For a decision they made.
Right.
Which is not necessarily 100% right or wrong.
Right.
So that's number 1. Number 2 was, you bring it up publicly and you try to humiliate them.
Right.
That's
number 2 and 3. So humiliation and public. Yeah.
Right. So number 1, even when you're private, you could humiliate somebody, right? And to make it even worse, you do it in public.
Public, yeah.
When other people are around.
Right. Okay. So you got to really check yourself. Really check your intention. If you are correcting someone publicly and you intentionally wait and you plan like a plotter and you wait till there are people around, then you give the feedback. Do you really want them to change? Do you really care about that person? Does the result actually matter to you, or do you want to make them hurt? Because if you want to make them hurt, then you're an ingenuine human being and you really don't actually care about making the change. Or maybe let me take that back. I don't want to make you so bad. Maybe it's because you don't know how to do it any better. Maybe you feel you're too weak to do it in one-on-one setting because they're not going to listen to you. So instead you do it publicly. I'm telling you, there are better ways of doing it than.
Or I think a lot of times people even throw shots and so forth.
They throw shots because they can't talk directly with each other. And they can have an adult conversation about something. Instead, you throw cheap shots.
Right.
Mature up, And
the last one is you attack their character. Instead of saying that hey, can you please do the vacuum?
Right.
Vacuum the floor. Instead of that, you say you're a lazy person.
Lazy, yeah.
So don't do that. Instead,
So or even simple thing, a parents calling their daughter dumb, or you're not that smart. You have nothing in your brain, right? Why are you saying that?
Yeah.
I know why you're saying it, because you're trying to encourage them to study more. Do you think calling someone dumb...
You have good intentions.
Yeah,
you have good intentions, but the way that you go about it...
Do you think you calling someone dumb gonna really excite them and motivate them to study more? Really?
Yeah.
Instead, you say, you know what? I've been noticing. You've not been studying last few days. You come home and you're on your phone. I think you should be studying at least 2 hours every night. That's productive, right? We'll get to that in a second. So that's the 3-step in giving someone feedback.
Yeah. Okay. So number 1, as you said, is to figure out, ask yourself, what is it that you really want to change about this person?
Right.
What is it that you want out of the situation?
Step number 1, guys. Look, there's 3 steps. Pay attention. All right. There are 3 steps in giving someone feedback. Number 1.
Number 1 is what is it that you really want to change, in this person? Ask yourself that.
Right.
And be focused on that. So
come up with the exact thing that you want them to change. I just want them to be better. No, that's vague. What do you mean? You just want them to be better, or I just don't want to, I just want them to stop lying. That's still quite vague, actually. To be honest, you want to make it more specific. So you want to make the behavior very specific. What is it that you want them to change?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's vague, I think it's fine as long as you have a general idea, and you keep that in the back of your head,
right?
That this is what I want out of the conversation.
If you were to wake up tomorrow and this person miraculously changed, what would have changed?
Right. Yeah. Ask yourself that question. Yeah. I write it down even if you need to get more clarity on it.
If you were to wake up tomorrow and this person has miraculously changed, what specifically behavior-wise, like what would they be doing that's different. Now you might say, I want them to have a mindset change, right? Well, mindset change, it's too vague, to be honest. Like, you can't tell someone, no, change your mindset.
I mean, even with mindset
like, I don't like, you're too negative all the time.
I think even with mindset change,
right.
like, it has, like, after you change the mindset,
right.
it goes into your behavior change.
Right.
So
for example, I get this a lot. I just want him to be more positive. He's always so negative. I don't like it, he's always so negative. Well, that's too vague. You can't tell someone, I want you to always be more positive. Instead, you could request this. Can from now on you at least give one positive aspect about something for every negative that you give?
So more specific.
Yeah, every event, everything that we do, every parties that we go to. Can you find one thing that's good every time you tell me something that's negative? So you ask them for that behavior. That's specific. That's number one.
And also point out the benefits that are involved with
number
the change.
Two, guys. Number two. Pay attention. Number two is point out the benefit. So it's not, nobody wants to change because you want them to change. Why should I change? Because I said so. No, that's not good enough. What is it that they will benefit from? So yes, it's something that you want them to change, but find out what is it
they care about.
Yeah, what is in it for them?
Yeah.
Right? What is it in it for them? And you gotta really think hard. I mean, it's something you want them to change, of course. You want them to change because you want to, but find something they would actually be like, you know what? Yeah, I actually wanted that anyways. Give them ownership. People only change when they feel ownership of the change. Right? That's why I tell teachers, right? When they make I do trainings for teachers in public schools, and I tell, when you make the classroom rules, this is something that most teachers do now. When you make classroom rules, you don't say, okay, folks, these are 10 classroom rules. From where? Thin air? you came with from your behind. Instead, you ask the class, okay, what should be our group promise? What should be 5 rules for our classroom?
Because then, as a group, you come up with those rules. So when you own the change.
So that's number 2, really about owning change. So when you find out, look, I think you might want to do this, and you could even use some really good techniques in speaking. You could tell someone, look, I have this idea for you. I think you will like it, and I think you might want to actually do it, right? And so you point out what is it in it for them. So you want them to change. You want them to whether it be your son or daughter, whether it be your sibling, even if you say, you share the room with your sibling and you don't like the fact that they keep a dirt in that side of the room, and find out why is it for them, not because I sleep here too, so you better clean up. No, instead you say, I think you'll like it if you cleaned up yourself. I think you'll be organized. I see you sometimes struggling to find a place to put your books and you forget where things are. Maybe clean your room and let me help you. Maybe it'll help you.
Yeah. So I think that's a very good point.
So that's number 2.
Yeah, that's number 2. And lastly, the point is
step number 3
is, instead of saying that, don't do this, and just pointing out what they're not doing. Point out what it is that you want them to do.
That's a good one. So it's like, don't say what you don't want to do. So it's like one thing you could say, for example, is, Mike, stop throwing the ball, right? Or stop throwing the ball in the room. You could say, play the ball outside. Because when you say stop throwing the ball, and the brain goes, throw ball, ball, throw. That's what they say. I was teaching a communication class, the seminar this past weekend in Dallas, and I was telling in the seminar that don't smoke. That sign actually makes smokers want to smoke, because it says don't smoke,
and the brain tells them
smoke. So so that's why you want to find the positive version of the behavior. So don't they say don't do this, instead do this, right? So don't be late. The brain goes late. So you want to say be on time, be early,
or be even more specific, like please be here
by 7.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you say don't be late. You're always late. You're lazy. That's not helping anyone.
Right. Absolutely. Right.
So those are the 3 steps in giving someone feedback. Don't be afraid. Show with love, with wisdom. You can correct your friends and family, but you have to do it with love, care, and respect. And there's something very important. We didn't mention this here, but something to keep in mind. There's 2 things you have to have in order for you to give any feedback to someone, right? It's like a core formula. People have to know that you're on their side, right? We call that in communication mutual purpose. People have to feel that you're on their side. Like they have to know that you got to. So if you're uncle and you're correcting your niece, you have to say, look, I love you just like my daughter. Right? If you are correcting your business partner, you have to say, look, your money is my money.
Yeah.
Right? We got the same bottom line.
You end up being in the same team. You're working towards the same same result.
Right. So
you want the best for each other.
Right. So your spouse, you say, look, we're the same team. We're one family here. Family first.
Yeah.
So you have to mention that sometime even, right? So they have to know that you're in the same team. In the same way, I mean, sometimes your friend corrects you and you have no problem with it. A stranger says something and you get pissed off. Why? Because you feel like they're on my side. People have to feel like you're on their side. If they feel like you're just attacking, it doesn't matter, you follow these 3 steps, it's not going to work. They have to feel like you're on their side. And number 2, not only they have to feel that you're on their side, they have to know that you respect and value them. Like deep down in your heart, no matter how much crap the other person is doing, you have to find it in your heart to value this person, respect this person, find something good in them. Even I always say this in my talks that even when I work with people who are criminals or they're mandated by court, I appreciate the intensity of the evil. Right? I say, wow, you're capable of a lot of bad things. You're pretty smart, with this stuff, right? You have a lot of energy. You get so angry and you break things and you get, that's pretty powerful. So I mean, I'm joking, of course, but I mean, you gotta find something every human being has something good. I don't care this cousin of yours or this friend of yours or this classmate or this coworker is bothering you and bugging you and you can't really address it. No matter how bad they are, there's some good in them. And if you cannot come from a place where you respect their good, trust me, you cannot give them feedback. You have to come from a place where you value and respect.
Or your feedback is not going to be receptive.
It's not,
they're not going to.
That's the way. It's not going to be taken.
Yeah, it's not going to be taken.
Yeah.
So let me check out if any kind of.
How we doing with time?
We're good at time.
Okay.
I think somebody who just attended your workshop from Dallas said hi.
Okay.
Salam from Dallas.
All right.
So, guys, I think we'll end it off.
Right.
As you know, I think today's episode is kind of short.
Right.
But as you know, we have this show every Monday at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I think we're a little bit late today. Apologies. Right. But please join us, every Monday. Next week, we're talking about how do you stop your bad habits.
Oh yeah.
I think you have some really good stuff for that.
Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna shift a little focus and go into habits, because I think habits something that we all have, bad and good. So
I'm going to be picking his brain a lot for this. I'm excited for it. Please feel free to give us feedback on how the show is going. If there's a topic that you would like for us to cover, really appreciate it.
Yeah. Share the show. Join our Facebook page, Live Buildup, our official page. Eventually, we're going to migrate these live shows from my page to our official Live Buildup page.
Yeah.
So please give it a like there. Share this video if you benefited anything in any way. Let us know what you took away from here. And as you know, this is a show every Monday night. We're not here to give you BS stories. We're not here to tell you how amazing we are and just be like us. Really, this is a show where we get into the nitty-gritty, practical things that in our life, in our businesses, in our careers, in our relationships. And this is what it is. It's life build-up. It's it's not about it's about the struggles that we go through and some tips and and techniques that we can utilize to make and improve and get better and better.
Yeah.
So it's really it's so much fun to be with all of you every Monday night 10 p.m. and see you guys next Monday.
Next Monday. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. All right, guys. Okay. Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next Monday.